I can spit some coffee at your laptop if you would like.
I'd rather you didn't.
Kia ora team, welcome to the Wholesome Half Hour. We're back, Tim 4 is alive and here.
I think I just got whiplash from that intro, but okay, moving on.
Well,
damn.
We can give you some real whiplash if you want. We can go for a drive.
You just finished offering to spill coffee all over my laptop. Right? What is with all this chaotic energy today,
You gotta get some speed, it's Tim 4, you need to get amped up. You get amped up.
Hi guys, welcome to the Wholesome Half Hour.
But yeah, Term 4's here.
Term 4 is...
It's a scary time, it's an exciting time, it's a wide range of emotions.
It's such a bittersweet time, I think, because you're like gripped with the like excitement of approaching summer holidays, but you're also like, and so that hedonistic part of you just wants that to be like right now. But like then you have that other little voice in the back of your mind that's like, oh, it's an anthology that I want to look at buying at some point. It's just to remind myself. Okay.
I just saw Akbar and
no, it's your last name. It's
an
author.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So.
Yeah, that's cute.
But yeah, also a super stressful time because it's getting closer to exams, and hopefully some of you guys have had a little bit of stress relieved in the form of those like art boards and things like that. So
look at art board.
To anyone who has completed their art boards, congratulations. For anyone who may still be working on any of them, you can totally do it, just a little bit more. The end is in sight. So good luck to, I feel like we kind of like forget a little bit, well not forget, but we don't discuss art boards and things like that frequently on the channel. Yeah, on the show.
On the show,
Which is interesting because I think it is something that really dominates.
It does dominate the schedules for a lot of people at this time, Also, like, people with the technology portfolios and that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out my shirt so it makes sense. Continue.
I remember, I can't even remember what I did for my technology portfolio, but I remember scrambling to put that together. At the moment, I've been dragging out my last university assignment. I've really been dragging the chain on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I picked a complex topic.
Right. So you didn't make life easier for yourself?
No. It's interesting though. This is real off topic, but we'll talk about it we'll give myself 60 seconds to move on. I'm doing it so my paper's is about ubiquitous media, and I'm doing, my research paper's about like fitness, or big data in the healthcare industry.
Oh yeah.
And whether it offers like sufficient benefits to society. It's quite interesting. There's been some research that showed that people who wore Fitbits, so they saw their health data and they were actually incentivized to do more steps. The gains were short-term and there were no positive long-term health outcomes. Yeah,
to be quite honest, like there's been about a 50-50 divide in the people that I know who have Fitbits in terms of helping and hindering.
I have a Fitbit now, by the way. That's a new development in my life.
But it's not to create habits or anything like that. Like that's
it's more
not
to reinforce existing habits.
Exactly.
Look at heart rate and stuff like that.
But there are a lot of people who I know have had Fitbits and it's actually just been really unhealthy for them.
Heaps of people.
Super unhealthy.
Like how?
It's too much tracking. It's people who are oversensitive to checking those kind of things.
Right. A lot of people, the biggest problem is retention. A lot of people will stop wearing them after about 6 months. Interestingly, essentially from what I can tell, the people who like them the most are the people who would be like fit without people who had literally had pre-existing long-term fitness.
It's not
arrangements before
motivated to get into doing health stuff. It's a reinforcement.
It's a fitness
for those
tracker.
That already have.
It's a fitness tracker. It's
not
so
you have to have fitness in the first
motivator.
place. Yeah, exactly. Well,
anyway,
awesome.
Completely off topic.
Term 4. I always remember you have 4 weeks of term 4, 1 week off, and then you're into exams. That's the general structure.
3 or 4 weeks, yeah.
I think some schools do wrap up a little bit earlier. Yeah. And my condolences to anyone who was still doing any internals.
My condolences to schools who have prize giving after exams.
My condolences to schools who do prize giving. No, I'm kidding, but prize givings are tedious things.
But like, did your school have them before exams? Yes. No. Yes. I don't know. My
You know
school.
what? I can't remember.
My school had like
I
prize
think we
giving.
had
Like,
two. I think we had one that was before and one that was after. We had like a in-school prize giving and then like a final prize giving where like all the ones that people cared about was actually presented, like ducks and stuff like that.
because ours
I
was
didn't get
like
that.
before exams, like when after the last day of school, Mackenzie actually got ducks.
I did not. I didn't even get an excellence endorsement at level 3. I was 5 credits off.
Failure, you failed at life. You're never going to make it now without that NCAA
Oh yeah, it
excellence
keeps
endorsement.
it keeps
It's the
me
ticket
up,
to life.
It keeps
It's the
me up
ticket
at
to
night.
life.
I'm like, I roll over. I've been awake. I've been awake for hours. I look at the time. It's 2 a.m. and I just think to myself,
If I got those 5 excellence
5
credits
more excellence and
in year
credits at level
13,
3.
my life would be different. Should be at Harvard by now.
you'd be doing something better than that. No. Kidding. Actually, I do have a friend that I used to live with who is now at Harvard.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens.
Not like kudos to her. She actually
Yeah, no,
works really hard,
actually,
but
it
yeah,
does
yeah,
happen.
she-
and
yeah,
like, the people who get it generally
She actually
work
like,
for
yeah,
it.
she's definitely like a very hard worker. But
There's a lot more than an excellence endorsement involved with that. But yeah, so this week I thought last night at 9:30 p.m. when I was wide awake. I go to sleep at 10.
you know
I go to
that
sleep
night,
very early.
9:30 p.m., not that morning p.m. Sorry, it's a pet peeve of mine when people say, "Oh, at 4 a.m. in the morning," and I'm like,
Okay,
"Well, you
here's
already
what-
told me it was." Yeah.
Because I frequently, so like gym schedules, right? I'll frequently go to the gym at 6:30 a.m. or 6:30 p.m. You have to say the a.m. or p.m. It's very important.
Yeah, but you don't have to say 6:30 a.m. in the morning.
Well,
It's just repetitious.
whatever. Why is Stan Walker
wasting
coming up
oxygen.
on our study time Instagram?
I don't know.
Very-
I don't
very
know who just.
interesting video
I don't know
Stan
who
Walker.
follows.
Yeah, I
besides
don't know
who
who
we follow
follows.
on the IG.
If you're followed by us on Instagram, good job. You somehow managed to game the system. But yeah, I asked you guys, what are you most excited for in Term 4 and what are you most worried about? And obviously...
And shout out
there's
to that one kid that roasted us for our grammar.
Oh yeah, well, I still don't understand what the issue
I
was.
didn't get it either. I kind of had like a
Someone
bit of a
roasted
seizure
us
midway
for
through
the,
reading the comments, so
yeah.
I just sort of.
So let's start on a high. What are you most excited for in Term 4? A lot of people to be finished, which is a fair goal.
Yeah, it's
there's
one
a
of
little while. There's a little while to go. You have to kind of.
Yeah, I do think it's one of those things as well. It's such the end is in sight, but I still do have to really knuckle down.
How
in
did you
this
find
last
it in
time.
high school? Like, did you find it to be like a real climax or like a? I don't know.
Okay.
I found it to be a very anticlimactic thing.
I will tell you how I experienced it, but I don't think I experienced it in the same way that most of my friend group did.
Continue.
I was done with high school about midway through year 12.
Yeah.
So there was no love lost for me. Like, people were crying on their last day of school, worried that they were never going to see these people again.
Probably didn't.
You only won't see the ones that you don't care about,
Yeah.
by the way. But like, I didn't go to the last day of school because I didn't want to deal with everyone emoting everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't handle high
like-
emotional
like-
situations well. No, it was anticlimactic. I don't know what you expect. There's no fanfare, there's no celebration, there's no, like, anything.
There's like a day of parties and that's it.
It's just, you're there, and then you're not.
Yeah,
And that's
like
kind of it.
if you were to consider like uni or work, the second chapter, usually you have to go through that weird summer period where you're working some weird, where you're either like doing very little or working some weird placeholder job.
Yeah.
And that's sort of just a weird phase in itself.
Yeah, I think the end of high school is as life-changing or as big as you want it to be. So for me, it wasn't a big deal because I didn't want to be there anyway. No, not in that sense. It was, I was ready to leave.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big emotional thing for me. If anything, it was like a relief. But in that sense, there wasn't a huge kind of moment of tension or anything like that. And I feel like you might have been in a similar boat where you're just like, just get me out of here.
Yeah, I actually kind of, I don't know, I wasn't sick of high school until like the very end, like the last like few weeks or month. And at that point, you can kind of just like coast through anyway. Yeah, it was a bit anticlimactic. It was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of fun. Like last few weeks of year 13, especially, like very low stakes, I felt.
Yeah.
Which probably reflected in my year 13 exam results. But I don't know, I was very chilled out and I was just like enjoying like, you know, like
I feel like
spinning yarns in the back of classes. And
I feel like when I was
making
in year
vlogs
13,
in the back of classes.
Yeah. In year 13, I think the last 4 weeks of term was just me existing there, but not really.
Yeah.
I think my school did something like we had like a resub reset week where we could, you know, work up anything and stuff like that. And I think I did a bit of that, but there was no.
I remember.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm sure that there are some people who had some kind of monumental thing happen, but just for myself, it was just, hey, you're at school this day and now you're not. And you don't legally have to step in this place ever again.
Yeah.
You know what? I imagine there are some laws that would want me not to ever step in my school again. Kidding. I'm kidding. Let's have a look at some of these other things. People are happy to see their friends every day again. That's cool. Yeah. That is one thing that like. Yes, when you leave high school, like you will see the people you care about. But there's something interesting about the social dynamic of being forced to. Do you mean
see
friendships of convenience?
Not friendships of convenience. Being forced to spend a significant portion of the day, like in a social environment. Like
It's draining.
you have to go there, and like you have to interact with people. Not just friendships of convenience, but just like acquaintances and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, well, it's packed full of people. There is, I mean, unless you really dedicate yourself to isolating.
It's one of the most social places you'll ever be in your entire life.
Probably second to a halls of residence.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think school is such a place of like go, go, go. There is always someone who's running around like a headless chicken. Even if it's got nothing to do with you, there is always somebody who's super busy. And it's just like one of those times where the days are filled relatively quickly.
Yeah. A lot of people who want to be head girl or head boy, I'm anxious to find out. Very interesting. Good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck to anyone who is applying for leadership positions. And also to those who may not get any leadership positions as well, I think it's so important that you don't take that as the meaning that you aren't contributing anything like good to your school or anything like that. There are so many people I know who applied for, you know, a prefect position, a head position and stuff like that, and they didn't get them, but they were still able to contribute to their school in like a really positive way. And I think if you are somebody who's going for any of those positions because you want to help your school and because you want to support like your peers and stuff like that, that's so cool. For those who are doing it because it will like look
Boost
good,
the CV.
yeah, or get you in a halls of residence, or because it's like a flex, like.
Good flex.
I'm not behind those motivations as well.
When you're second year at uni, people are real keen to know that you're a prefect in high school. It goes down real well.
Also,
it's a great conversation starter. Hey Mackenzie, good to meet you. Did you know I was prefect in high school?
let's do a first day at Tapuni Village, shall we?
Sure.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie. I was a head girl.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Siren. I was a head boy. That's everyone in TPV. Everyone was like, everyone's big fish in big pond, and after that, and that's not to belittle the position at all.
No,
I think it's just not to. Don't.
It's an excellent opportunity to give back to your school and give back to your school and be more involved in like school, like what goes on in your school and like planning activities and making it a better place for the students who are there at the time. 100%. But I don't think it's going to, and the skills you'll learn by like dealing with like maybe having a closer relationship with the principal or other senior staff are like very valuable skills, but it's not going to, being head girl or head boy isn't going to be the springboard for the rest of your life.
No.
Yeah.
In the exact same way that I was somebody who wasn't a prefect, wasn't a house leader, wasn't head of anything. And that didn't bother me. I had no beef with that. I really actually didn't care. But that didn't mean that I didn't have the same opportunities after high school as those who did take up those positions. Like I got into my halls of residence, my VP still wrote a really lovely reference for me. You know, build relationships with the teachers and the people who you get along with, not necessarily those who are just like in a good position to help you get into whatever university you want or whatever it is or something like that. Yeah. I mean, I'm making this sound like high schoolers are all manipulative, like LinkedIn people, but they're not. They're 100% not. People. Oh, yeah, tell me I'm wrong.
Do you even have a LinkedIn?
No.
You should get a LinkedIn.
I don't want a LinkedIn. What would I put on it?
I'm Mackenzie Grant. I work at Inspiration Education and I have a BA from Victoria University of Wellington.
Sick. Hey, did you know I'm alumni? Yeah, no, I think see the role for what it is, I guess, is.
Another thing people are excited for, Leavers dinner on prank day. Did your school get real into this? I know you didn't.
No, we didn't.
So
it was every day of the year. We didn't care.
My year group failed at this. We were two goody two shoes off a cohort.
I had a friend
but
too.
Previous year groups did very well.
Yeah, at the boys' high in Hawke's Bay, where I'm from, which is notorious for many different reasons, but that's fine. I'm pretty sure this was my year, and it was like a few of my friends who did this. They're absolute evil men, but they either duct taped or glad wrapped someone to a hood of a car, or was it to a pole? Either way, they like...
That's a very, taping people to objects is definitely...
And they're always year nines. They're always year nines. But the year nines like almost don't care. Sometimes they're like, I'm involved. And it's like, you don't want to be right now.
Yeah, I remember in previous years at my school, there were a lot of fireworks. That was like definitely a thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there was fireworks in the stairwell.
Actually,
a fireworks burned carpet of one of the rooms. That didn't go down well. Fireworks in the car park.
Oh my goodness.
Fireworks are great. Fireworks used to be easier to get, like, even just 5 years ago.
Yeah, even just like 2 years ago. Fireworks are way more regulated now. Way.
Sad times. Maybe we should buy some fireworks.
Mum and Dad were always talking about when they were kids, they'd have like I think they were called like cherry bombs or something like that. That was a type of firework, and basically you'd light it, throw it in a toilet, and it would explode the toilet. So they did that at their school. Just like absolutely destroy the plumbing.
Any other?
This is not a recommendation, by the way.
Oh, one other prank I saw was someone the painting. Is it a Da Vinci painting with like Jesus in the middle? The Last Supper painting? Mm-hmm. Someone like photoshopped that to have like all this like senior staff at our school.
That is very
good. It was quite good. It was very amusing.
I appreciate the effort and the time that somebody put into it.
Yeah, it was like a good Photoshop drill. It was like half an hour work.
It wasn't a 5 minute.
No, it was like a half hour to 1 hour work. People excited to hand in artboards. Mm-hmm. People excited for it not to be freezing cold in the mornings. I feel you. Oh, it's getting better. 100%. It's definitely getting better.
Oh, completely. And it's so lovely how at nights now it's like a little bit lighter.
I know. It's amazing. So nice. It blows my mind. Nice. I was looking at, just out of curiosity, looked at sunset times for like December and January. Did you know the sun doesn't set until 9:30?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that's how summer works.
Forgot how summer works.
9:30, so the sun sets until last week it was 5:30.
That's why Hawke's Bay summers are sick, because it's super clear, reliably good weather in Hawke's Bay, and so it will be still light out at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it will get dark around 9:30 and stuff like that, but it holds the light for a really long time.
Yeah. A lot of people excited for the end. A lot of people excited to leave high school. We've covered those. A lot of people have literally just said the end. Those are the two words.
Yeah, just
that's the most common phrase in here.
This is the end.
Blah 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 blah. Do we go on to the concerns?
Yeah. Well, it seems like everyone's just very keen to get it done.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is just going to be all exams.
Artboards, exams. exams. It's all exams.
Maybe you should have asked better questions.
Yeah, I know. It was 9:30. I wanted to sleep. Okay,
Okay, well, in that case, shall we talk about...
I don't have time to think about Instagram questions all day.
I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry that your schedule is so booked.
I'll pretend I'm angry.
In that case, what are some of the other common, I think, challenges do you think that students face around this time of year that isn't...
I was going to blow my
necessarily-
nose, but I can chime in on that.
No,
Wait,
it's okay. You blow your nose. I'll talk at the camera for a bit.
What was the question?
No, it's fine.
No,
I
want
just
to
get it.
think
You don't
about
care
it, and
about
then
your
I'll have a
job. Like,
smart
it's
answer
fine.
to-
No, I said, what is some other common sort of things that students face around this time of year that isn't necessarily
I'll
exams?
return and
Okay,
think.
you do that. So I think probably just while Seren is sorting out his nasal cavity, I think some of the biggest things that we maybe don't foresee around this time, and I'm definitely speaking to year 13s and things like that at the moment, is when you get to this point of the year where it does kind of hit you that you are sort of getting into this point of your life where you're about to go through like a major transition. And I don't think that kind of hits properly until...
It takes a little while
kind
to
of,
click.
Yeah, to kind of see. And I think at the moment everyone's just excited to, like leave high school and move on to this next chapter. But I think particularly over summer, at least at one point, people tend to be gripped by this like, oh my God, I'm not bound to a legal institution anymore that I like have to be
It takes
at.
a while. You kind of fizzle into the mindset.
Yeah, and you, I feel like
it's the first time in your life where you aren't required to
do anything.
do something.
Any decision that you make from now on is completely
it's a true
yours.
decision.
It's a true decision. It's completely yours. This up until this point, the probably some of the most major decisions that you like really could take was, oh, what subjects do you want to take next year? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now, whether it is, university or you want to travel or you just want to go into work or polytech or an apprenticeship or something like that, any decision that you make is entirely up to you. And you will still have things like family influences and such as well, but you're much more autonomous now than previous years. Yeah. And that is both liberating, but also incredibly, I think it can be very anxiety inducing at first because you're just kind of overwhelmed with freedom. Yeah.
One of the things that I found the most important is when you start to realize that freedom, and even this also applies if you're 11 or 12, you'll see what I mean.
I'm still struggling with this, by the way. It's not always an easy fix.
Having like some sort of consistent, so when you go to high school, you have a consistent schedule because you're required to be somewhere. So you have to wake up and you have to be at school at 9, or if you woke up late, 10 o'clock, and you can't leave until 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. But obviously, once school finishes, even if you're just on study leave, like that schedule is no longer mandated on you. And I find that if you don't have any sort of schedule or structure to your day, it's very easy to not get very much done, but also feel anxious just because you're uncertain and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so, exactly. And anxiety quite frequently does come about due to like uncertainty.
Uncertainty. Like, what am I going to do? And I highly recommend for study leave, and then once you finish study leave as well, have some sort of routine to your day. And that doesn't mean you have to have every hour booked out from 9 to 5, but wake up at a consistent time every day, even if it's 9:30. Just wake up. Yeah. By a certain time every day.
I think it's give yourself something to get ready for in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm very much speaking from personal experience right now, so this might be a little bit too accurate or niche, but if you get up in the morning and you have no direction for the day, you will sit in your dressing gown on the couch watching YouTube until 12 o'clock, and then you realise that half the day is gone and you haven't even taken a shower yet. This happened to me on the weekend.
Yeah.
And that's not bad to have happen, every now and then, it doesn't matter, but that's not what you want to be all the time.
Yeah.
I know it's a really small, weird thing, but I've started in the mornings, the first thing I do is, rather than just, leaving my room, I will make my bed and make sure that the blinds are open.
Yeah.
And it's just, a really small thing, but it's also, you make your bed, it means you can't go back there. You know, or whether that be like just saying to yourself, okay, well, I can sleep in for a while, but I want to be, you know, showered and ready. If I had to leave the house, I could do so by like 10 o'clock or something like that.
Having stuff to do during the day is like really critical, and even if
it's just brunch.
Yeah, like
I love brunch.
Like stuff, skills or like things to pick up in the school holidays that are like very cool is like cooking, like literally like.
Sorry?
Cook. Like,
oh
cook,
my God, that's
brunch.
not what I thought you said. Continue. I'll tell you after, don't worry.
Like if you want to like cook yourself, like if you literally wake up, make your bed, brush your teeth, get changed, and make breakfast and make like a nice breakfast, like that could be like the first like 90 minutes of your day, like sussed. And then like.
And it's very
pursuing some sort
rewarding, I think.
Totally.
It's one of those things that if you stay, you know, just sitting around and stuff like that, you kind of end up feeling grosser and grosser and grosser. And even if you don't do anything with your day, even if you just get ready and sit back on the couch and you watch YouTube until 12 o'clock again, at least you feel ready for something. So you could do that exact same task, but it makes a huge difference as to whether or not you're in like human clothing or your dressing gown.
Yeah.
Not that a dressing gown isn't made for humans, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. A good activity to get into is like just try to do like one physical activity every day, like going for a walk, if you're into like something more intense.
Do some stretching, you know.
Do some stretching, meditation. But yeah, like physical activity is good. Like cycle. I don't know. I remember I don't actually cycle very much at all anymore. But when I was in high school, I used to cycle a lot.
Same. I used to bike to school.
Yeah.
I also used to walk to school, and so that was like a 50-minute walk.
Yeah.
From there, and then another 50-minute walk back a day. So
yeah.
I started walking to school at like 7:30 every morning.
Yeah.
It was sick.
People find that weird, but then like. I don't know, if I was going to go for a walk on a weekend, I'd happily go for a walk for 50 minutes. So, like, why wouldn't you do that as part of your, like, daily activities?
I think as soon as it becomes mandatory, as soon as it becomes the thing that you have to do, you don't want to do it anymore, right?
Yeah.
For example, you know, earlier this week, I've been trying to make more of an effort to walk places and stuff like that. And I've done way more walking this week, and it's actually been really cool. And I actually wanted to walk to work this morning, but it would have meant that I've worn the same pair of shoes for like the past like 5 days. And I don't know why, but something inside of me said that couldn't happen. So I don't know. I don't know who.
Shoes. No, that's not the right shoes.
Just buy more.
Just buy more. Consume more children. Join.
I was going to look something up.
No, okay, I'm real pedantic about shoes. So I have two pairs of gym shoes because I go to the gym a lot. And I don't like wearing my gym shoes not at the gym.
You don't like not? Yeah, that's fair.
So like I'll wear them to the gym, but I don't like walking around in them. Essentially, I don't like changing my training shoes often because it's annoying because there's like an adaptation period. And if you wear your shoes only indoors, they last ages.
Oh yeah.
Because the soles never wear out. It's only like after a while the fabric will start to wear.
I was going to look something up and I completely forgot what it was. I think a lot of what we've been talking about and stuff though really applies for study period as well. On those days where, you know, your parents leave for work around 8 and you don't have anything that you have to do today because you're on study leave. So, you know, while you may have that like study, you don't have like an appointment or a certain time by which you have to have a task done by. In the same way that school sort of works. And these kind of tips of, you know, just setting some kind of a small regular schedule for yourself can be so helpful in just making you feel like you're still functioning like a human. Because it's actually funny how quickly these things derail when we don't have the usual cues anymore.
Yeah, definitely. And especially so suddenly as well. It's not a transition. Like it's like with high school, it's literally like one day you're going to school, one day you're not. One day you have exams to study for and the next day you don't anymore.
Yeah. And it's not going to be the same for everyone either. You're going to have one friend who finishes their exams really early, and then you're going to have that one friend that always takes dance, and so they always have like their exam right at the absolute end because that always happens. Sorry to all those who take dance. And it's about knowing that we're all big enough and ugly enough to know how to to get ourselves out of bed in the morning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Elizabeth, we love that woman, my mother. She would legitimately, her wake-up call to me when I was in high school would be to open the door of my room, flick the light on, and then walk out again. At 6 o'clock for... How old am I?
22.
18 years. I'm not 18, but yeah.
At the time.
It was a stupid question. Yeah, no, I'm just not functioning.
You probably didn't do it for the first 5 years. You just said...
Look. Look. Cut it out.
Sure. Can I help you?
I guess what are your what do you do to kind of bounce back from when you're not feeling great about a habit that you have, or if you see something in your schedule that you want to change, if you're not feeling motivated about things, what is your way of getting about that?
So I'm very calendar dependent's not quite the right phrase, but I very actively use my calendar, and I very actively use it as a planning tool. And when I plan stuff, my follow through is very good. So if I'm...
Did I tell you I've converted?
Yeah, I know. It's brilliant. I've converted 2 people this year. I converted Hannah as well. It's great. And you got the colours. Purple is also the colour of my... Oh, you've got work as purple. Purple's the colour of my personal calendar.
No,
That's not relevant.
Okay. Dark purple is my appointments, and then light purple are my lessons.
Right. Okay. I have okay, this is really off topic, and I realise you guys can't see this, but red is work, blue is uni,
I feel
purple is personal.
I really wouldn't want to make red work because that just feels too
Grey is gym. I used to have gym training and personal, but now it's its own calendar.
Oh God,
Anyway, okay, so I'm very calendar motivated. So if I'm not happy with my schedule, I'll look at my calendar for the week ahead. Mainly because my calendar's never empty. There's always stuff that I have to work around.
Yeah.
But by looking at that, I can see times that are free and say I want to start doing something new. So recently I wanted to start training, doing 2 full body strength training sessions a week, which I didn't currently have in my schedule. So I looked at my calendar.
We have a public holiday coming up soon. The 28th of... Sorry, yeah, I was looking at... Sorry. Continue.
So I'll look at my calendar. I'll be I want to do 2 strength training sessions this week, and I'll just look at the calendar for the coming week or the next week. And I'll just literally book those in and then get it done.
That's good. That foresight though, right?
Yeah.
So what happens if you don't have that foresight?
What do you mean?
Well, okay. So because let's be real. You are a seasoned...
I'm a seasoned
organizer.
I'm seasoned in the art of time management.
Exactly. So, oh my God, my forehead is so shiny. So what is it that you would recommend? How did you start off? What would be tips for those who, haven't had to do anything like this before?
Haven't had to plan their day out before.
Or haven't had to, have that kind of autonomous force structure, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Are they any different to what you're saying before?
So you can kind of go real simple. So I know one thing a lot of people do or some people do is they have a list of things they want to do. So or skills they want to pick up. So then you can, whenever you catch yourself being bored or not knowing what to do, you can look at that list and just pick one of those things and do it. Something else is instead of having that list,
it's actually called "You're Not Bored, You Can Do This." That is what I have titled that list.
Yeah. And you can, instead of having the full-blown calendar, simple, after you brush your teeth and have your breakfast or whatever, get a sheet of paper out and just write 3 things you want to do today. Go for a walk, catch up with Tim, and go to the supermarket.
And 3 is a very manageable number, I think.
And it can be small things.
It doesn't have to be big.
It can be watch Casey Neistat's new YouTube video.
Yeah.
Don't make them all YouTube videos. But
your Casey is Casey Neistat. My Casey is Casey Frey. I love that man. Oh, he's so uncomfortable.
Casey Neistat's moved to LA. Very relevant.
Yeah, because LA is super relevant for, what?
He's like in New York. Like his whole identity is built around New York anyway.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But he moved to LA now. Anyway.
Imagine if we each had an episode where we just totally talked about what we want to talk
We
about.
actually should do that. I reckon that'd be good.
I don't think it would be educational or informative to anyone at all.
I think I'd gain a large amount of pleasure out of it.
I would as well, but I don't think any viewer would.
Well, who knows?
Like,
Maybe they want to find out who we are.
I don't know. Do our viewers actually want to know us as people? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they just like us as objects.
They're objectifying you, Saren. High school is everywhere.
It's a good time to tie it all up if you want.
Cool, awesome. So, just to wrap up,
Yeah.
everyone's excited for the end of the year, but don't forget that we still do have a wee more hustle push before then. So try not to clock into holiday mode too early.
Yeah. It's okay. I was going to say it's only like 3 more weeks. It's a little longer than that.
It's a little
but
bit
it's not
longer.
too long. It's not too long. It's
You
a
guys can
manageable
do
amount
it.
of time.
You've done it all this year. Don't clock out too early.
Yeah.
And you know, around this time, especially around exam times, and this applies to anyone going on study leave. It doesn't matter if you're year 13 or if this is your very first time going on study leave. Try and give yourself some structure for those days where there's not going to be anyone else around to tell you that you have to do this, that, or the other. You know, give yourself a regular time to get up. We're not saying get up at 6 a.m. like Saren said. It could be 9:30. But give yourself a time that you have to be out of bed by.
And by doing it, if you structure your days like forward, this is my last point for the day. It's like you wake up at 9, you have breakfast and you get ready and you sit down to study by 10. Think of it this way: if you start studying by 9 or 10 or 8, so you only need to do, even at like max, I wouldn't recommend doing more than like 3 or 4 hours of study in a day.
Yeah.
So like,
and it's also useful to kind of spread that out if you can as well.
But like, say you do 2 or I think I used to do 2 or 3 sessions. Say you start at 9 o'clock, you do 9 till 10:30, take a break, 11 till 12:30, take a break, and then a shorter afternoon session, 1 o'clock.
Oh, I actually do have one more tip.
And then you're done for the rest of the day. Do what you want. Go hang out with Johnny. So,
I have one more tip.
watch some
for
TikToks.
For all of those students out there who are also working while they are studying, my recommendation is feel free to pick up a little bit more work if you want, get a little bit more money behind you. Be wary of taking on too much work in the absence of study. Remember that at the end of the day, your priority is your study.
And you've only got one more month. Like the second your last exam hits, you can like do whatever you want.
It's definitely a pitfall that I kind of had. Like I did study in the study break as well, but I know I spent a lot of time picking up extra hours and working more because I was like, ooh, extra money. And like that was nice, don't get me wrong, but it is not what is most important in that time, I think. That's my last aside on that one.
Cool. Shall we leave it there?
Yeah, thanks
Thank you
for watching.
We will be back with a shorter episode next week and a full-length episode the week after.
Very cool.
Though I'm thinking we might change that, but we'll talk about that.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Let us know what you want. Let us know. Do you want more wholesome half-hour? You should say yes. There's only one correct answer.
Yes or yes.
Yes or yes.
And like, let us know if there's any other kind of stuff that you want us to talk about.
Yeah, because we obviously, like, everyone wants us to talk about exams and stuff, but there's only so much exam talking we can do. But if there's anything else,
just go to all of our
mind
podcasts around this time last year. We've discussed everything that there is to do with exams. But
anything else that's on your mind, let us know, and we'll see you next time.
bye, guys.
Bye.